Romans, service. Number 3 is what? Is service. Number 3 is service. Service. That is what a leader is called to do. Service. The book of Mark, chapter 10, verse 43 to verse 45. Mark chapter 10, 43 to 45. Okay, this is not the way it is among you. If one of you wants to be great,
you must be the servant of the rest.
Anybody who wants to be great must be what? The servant of the rest. What is the meaning of the rest? The people who are following us, the ones we are leading. We serve them. Yes.
And if one of you wants to be
first,
you must be the slave of all.
Joy. Did you hear that one there? Must be the slave of all. So, how many of us want to be slaves here to anybody? All right. So, greatness is inside service. It's inside service. It's inside service. Service makes you put others first before yourself. That is why in leadership, when there is time for feasting, time for eating, a leader waits for others to eat first before looking for his own food to eat. That's a leader. So leadership is service. And that's where greatness is. Hallelujah. And the moment you begin to serve others first, you will learn humility without knowing it. You will do what? You will learn humility without knowing it. The moment you start developing that ability to serve people, humility will be building. Because anybody you see yourself as a servant. And the more you attend to people, to serve them, to put them first, the more you develop humility. And believe me, favor is always connected to humility and service. Favor is always connected to service. Favor. And if this spirit of service begins to overshadow you, you will become generous. You become a giver. These things are connected. You become a giver. And nothing will be too special to give to God. Who is the richest man in Africa now? The richest businessman in Africa. Dangote. Some of you may have heard the story of his beginning. It is the prophecy of a man of God on his life that made him who he is today. Archbishop Benson Idahosa. How many of you have heard that story? You heard the story? Beautiful. Idahosa had 2 guests from the US. And they were almost late to catch their flight to Lagos. So Idahosa drove to the airport. And on getting there, a plane was about to take off. So he drove in his car and blocked the runway. So the pilot stepped down and opened the door. Yeah, Bishop, any problem? He said, I have 2 guests. They must catch their flight in Lagos to return back to the US. The man said, I'm sorry, sir. The flight is fully booked. It's filled to the capacity. He said, just give me a chance to enter inside. He entered inside. So some of the church people there bowed, they put their heads down as if they were not hearing what the bishop said. Dangote with his assistant, travel assistant, volunteered their seats, stood up and went down. But the guests of the Archbishop joined the flight. The Archbishop looked at him and said, what do you do? He said, I'm a businessman. He prayed for him, he blessed him. He said, nobody will see your back in the business world. He blessed him. A Muslim. A man of God, pray for him. This thing called service. No matter who does it, whether you are prayerful or prayerless, holy or unholy, if you are given to service, you will be favored beyond your labor, beyond your effort. Praise the Lord. So the importance of service. All right, so what number are we going to now? Number 4, accountability. That is another leadership principle that we need to know. Accountability. Accountability. That means a leader must possess the virtue of accountability. Romans 14 verse 12. Accountability. Romans 14 verse 12. See, every one of us shall do what? Give account of himself to who? To God. Now, so what does it mean to have accountability? To be answerable to what to do. Beautiful responses there. Which means, now if we practice this thing we're saying now, that blame game we discussed the other day will be erased. Because if I am in charge of a department, I am the leader there. Whatever goes wrong there, I take responsibility for it. That makes me an accountable person. So that whatever I do, I am saying to myself, one day I may be asked to give a report, to give an account of what I was asked to do. Therefore, let me do it well. It's a leadership principle. And if you practice it, you will become honest to yourself and true to your energies. Accountability is a leadership principle. Number 5, communication. Another key leadership principle here. Communication. The book of Proverbs 15 verse 23. Proverbs 15 verse 23. Communication. A man has what? Has joy by the answer of his mouth. A word spoken in due season. How good it is. A word spoken in good season. In due season, how good it is. Listen, anybody who likes talking, who is expressive, it is difficult to find misunderstanding in the place where a talkative person is. Especially if he has learned the art of saying what is right at the right time. There is what I call a calculative talkative. What I call what? A calculative talkative. That was who Haman was. You remember Haman in the Bible? The king was about to honor somebody. He said, what should be done to the man whom the king delights to honor? And the person that came on board was Haman. And the person the king was about to honor was who? The king was preparing to honor Mordecai. But Haman came on board, and Haman became the one that talked. And I realized that God was the one that arranged it like that, because Mordecai probably was not a good talker. There are some adults that when they want to talk, they talk like children. Nobody will be pinching them. You don't see. There is a proverb in data that I don't know whether it's only data that has that proverb. You don't set a firewood according to the length of a python. You want to roast a python. You don't gather firewood from the tail to the head. You put the fire one place. You shift the. You want to say something, some dirty secrets. You don't say everything the way it happened, raw. That is not maturity. So a word spoken in due season is talking about a calculative talkative. If you are a leader, you must be a talker. You must be what? A talker. A talker means you don't hide things that should not be hidden. If anybody in your team does what is wrong, what is detrimental to the progress of your group, you don't keep it and look for a way to report it. That is a maturity. You report this one to dad, you report this one to mom, you report this one to mommy. When you report too much like that, you set confusion. Handle matter. It is any matter you cannot handle. That is a matter you report. And when you report, Don't report judgmentally. Don't report how? How do you report? You report constructively. That means you report to get help. Report to get solution. Don't report to get a judgment. Child. Mighty God. There are some people who, out of their zeal, they want to shout. So because of the zeal they have, they make mistakes. I'm telling you what I know very well. We have members like that, workers like that. They want to serve. In the process of that zeal, because when they check where they are coming from, where God delivered them from, they want to serve with all their heart. You who stand somewhere may be saying, this is eye service. He is doing eye service. He is trying to do notice me. He is trying to do so that unknown to you that is how he is. That is how she is. She wants it done. She is grateful to God or grateful to one or two persons for what has been done already for him. And it's not serving. And then dangerous reports begin to fly around. That is not healthy for us. Now beat your chest, say, I am not a reporter. I am a builder. Say amen. Yes, what number are we going to now? Number 6 is what is called empowerment. Empowerment. Leadership principles. Number 6, empowerment. Exodus 18, verse 21 and verse 22. Empowerment. Exodus 18, verse 21 and verse 22. Empowerment. So, thank you very much. Empowerment also means delegation of responsibilities. Also means what? Delegation of responsibility. That means give people work to do. Don't do everything alone. I met a GO at Ilabuchi. I said, oh no, God, what are you doing here? He said they came to buy microphone battery. I said, wait. So, you came all the way from Transamadi to Ilabuchi to buy microphone. I said, how about the person in charge of media or your associate? He said, no, I don't trust them. So, there are times we permit people to cheat us. All right? So, delegation of responsibility is a form of empowerment. That means empowerment is not only spiritual, it is not also financial alone. When we give people duties, we have given them some level of power. So every leader must learn to delegate responsibilities. All right, number 7 is consistency and discipline. Consistency and discipline. Another leadership principle for a leader to know. Consistency and discipline. 1 Timothy chapter 3, verse 2 to verse 4. Consistency and discipline. 1 Timothy 3, verse 2 to verse 4. Consistency means to follow up what you have started. Follow up what you have started. Of good behavior given to hospitality and able to teach. All right, so let's move to a different heading now. Leadership styles. Leadership styles. A subject. Leadership styles. Leadership styles. Number 1 is the one we call autocratic leadership. What is number 1? Autocratic leadership. This one is the kind of leader who takes decisions alone. He takes decisions alone. Those who are working with him are never part of the decision. Is it a good leadership style? To be alone, a lone ranger. Any decision that enters your brain, you take without involving those who are working under you is called autocratic leadership. There is an advantage to this kind of leadership. The advantage is that such a leader can work well under emergencies. It can work well under which kind of situation? Emergency. When there is an urgent thing to do that requires urgent solution, autocratic leader can do very well at that phase. But outside that, to be a lone ranger is not the best kind of leadership at all. You must consult with others. But let me quickly say this one. As a leader, you don't give suggestions. You give instructions. A leader should not do what? Don't give suggestions. What should you give? Instructions. You don't call your cabinet and sit them down and you are like, I want to bring out my own suggestion. If you don't like it, you can throw it away and take me. That is not a leader. You listen to the opinions of those who are working with you and then you summarize. So number 2 is the one we call democratic leadership. We're looking at leadership styles right now. Leadership styles. So number 1, autocratic leadership. Number 2, democratic leadership. This is the kind of leader that involves others in major decision making. You bring the issue on ground, call everyone involved, and say, let us discuss together and find lasting solutions. So number 3 is the one we call transformational leadership. Number 4. Is it number 4 or number 3? Number 3, transformational leadership. This is the kind of leadership style that look for a change. Every leader must be driven towards causing a change. Wherever you are, let there be a change. Not for a show, but for service. Let there be a change. Let something change. And if you are following and your leader gives an instruction, don't raise your hand and say, with all humility, Sam, I disagree. That language should never come from whoever is following. Do you understand me there? For instance, the bishop is calling for a meeting for the workers and is giving out an instruction. You don't raise your hand and say, with all due respect, I disagree. Don't disagree with whoever is your leader publicly. Publicly. If you do not agree with such opinions from your leader, what should you do? You meet the superior where? Privately. And when you meet him, you present your own opinion as a suggestion, because you don't give instruction to your superior. What you bring to the table is a suggestion, even though what is in your mind is an opinion that looks like a kind of instruction, but you present it as a suggestion, meaning it is subject to approval or disapproval. So, democratic leadership is a wonderful one that involves everybody, gets everybody involved. So, what number are we going to now? Number 4, there is the kind of leadership we call laissez-faire. Laissez-faire. You may have forgotten the spelling of that laissez-faire. It's L-A-I, laissez-faire, L-A-I-S-S-E-Z, laissez, then faire, F-A-I-R-E, laissez-faire. This is the kind of leadership where everybody is free to do whatever they think is good. Now let me sample your opinion of these 4 different leadership styles. Which one do you think is the best? Democratic leadership. Now why do you think that one is supposed to be the best to you? As far as leadership is concerned, leadership may begin from the spiritual realm, but it must always come to the physical realm. Because leadership is all about administration. Leadership is what? It's all about administration. How to put things in order, how to arrange things. And now, administration, is it physical or spiritual? Administration, is it a spiritual matter or a physical matter? It's a physical matter. Why? Because it involves resources. It involves human resources. It involves financial resources. It also involves the management of time. Which means, if I receive a spiritual message from God, and I need people in my department for that vision given to me by God to become a reality, I must surely bring it to the human realm. That is where administration comes in, meaning that leadership is physical. It may come from the spiritual, but it will manifest in the physical. Okay, so let's move on. What number are we going to now? Number 5 is the one we call servant leadership. Servant leadership. Servant leadership. That is the one demonstrated by Jesus in John 13, verse 1 to verse 17. We may not read there. Servant leadership. The focus of this type of leadership is to serve others. So we said that already before, so we may not take too much time on that. So somehow, like I said, there is an advantage to this style of leadership, and there is also a disadvantage to that. Let's take at least one each. Laissez-faire. The disadvantage is that everyone is a leader in his right, even though they have one leader. Meaning, they can come from different angles, and at the end of the day, there might likely be a disorganized setting. That is, they can cause confusion because this one is doing his own thing his own way. This one is doing his own way. At the end of the day, they are going nowhere. And then the advantage is that if all of them know where they are going, like he was trying to say, and yes, to achieve a goal, I know that this is what we are aiming at. And I know what is right to be done. I should not wait to be pushed. This is the advantage of this kind of leadership. I know what is right. I shouldn't wait for my leader to tell me, bro, sister, come do this one. I do it because I know this one is right. It will help us to achieve our goal. That is the advantage of laissez-faire. This one, it also promotes people bringing out their abilities. There are some leadership, spiritual pastors who do that kind of thing. They give their free hand to bring out the best in them, so long as it is in the interest of our vision. That is the advantage. All right? So democratic leadership, I am saying you, I think you can handle this one. Join. You can handle this one, do this one. I involve all of you. Laissez-faire is still involving people. But it's like everybody is doing whatever is right to his understanding without you controlling them. In democracy, there is a control. There is a control in democratic leadership style. Yes. So your opinion, you are free to bring your opinion in the decision. All right? But you don't have the final say. Your own opinion is not an instruction. Now let's look at these 3 styles of leadership and compare the 3 of them. Autocratic, democratic, and laissez-faire. One is in the middle. The other ones are like extremes. Autocratic is extreme of democratic leadership. Laissez-faire is also extreme of democratic leadership. That means the balance factor there is the democratic style of leadership. Is that understood? So these styles we're bringing out, we are not going to implement all of these leadership styles. Are you understanding me there? Okay, let's go back to those numbers. We say the first one is what? Autocratic, number 2. Democratic, number 3. Transformational leadership, number 4. Laissez-faire, number 5. Servant leadership. Now, if we are asked to remove 4 out and maintain only one style of leadership, which one should we maintain? Transformational leadership. So that is the best form of leadership style. Transformational. So whatever we do to bring about a positive change is a kind of leadership style that should be celebrated.